Kitco Mining special coverage of the Mining Investment Event of the North is brought to you by EMX Royalty Corp.
Growing your cash flow is the best message in this market. I'm with David M. Cole. He is founder and CEO of EMX Royalty. That is EMX on the NYSE AMEX and on the Venture Exchange. I got that correct, David.
You did.
I'm glad that I did. Welcome here. Glad to have you back, David.
Thanks, Michael. My pleasure.
Talk about the growing cash flow out of EMX.
Well, you know, we've been building a portfolio for 19 years as a junior company, and we're at the tipping point of becoming a mid-tier company with strong cash flow, and that's emanating from our Leeville royalty on the Carlin Trend, which is doing very well, operated by Barrick as part of the Nevada Gold Mines joint venture. And then very importantly, the Caserones royalty on that large molybdenum and copper molybdenum porphyry system in Chile. That's paying us after tax, repatriated to Canada, about $8 million US per year at the current rate of production. We do see some upside in the production right there. And then very importantly, our largest cash flowing royalty will be Gediktepe in Turkey, operated by Lydia Madencilik. And we have an astonishing 10% NSR in the upper oxide zone within that deposit. We expect about $12 million per year after tax coming USD off of that oxide system. Balya, the lead zinc silver system that we've talked about for many years, that is moving into full-scale commercial production, and we're going to see cash flow from that a little bit yet this year and a stronger amount as we head into 23. And then, of course, there's the Cukaru-Peki system, the Timok project in Serbia. That is a subject of debate about the royalty rate. I'm confident we're going to settle that discussion with Senjing. That should be announced within a month or two, and then we'll receive the cash flow from that ongoing operation. Long term, that's a significant royalty in our portfolio.
You had some news today out of the copper project. I want to get to that in a minute, but maybe if you could just talk about the transition of EMX Royalty, because when you have more cash flow coming on, it's going to become a different type of company.
That's right. And people ask me, are we going to evolve the business model? And what my answer is that why fix something that's not broken? You know, we believe in this business model. It's how we got to where we are today. We will continue to buy royalties if and only when it's appropriate. And then continue our organic growth of royalties through our royalty generation business model, which has worked really well now for 19 years. And that's what we're most proud of. And that's what attracted Franco to become a shareholder in the company.
Well, that changes as well too. I mean, that's when you get that scale, you get more cash flow, that you have a large market capitalization as well too. It becomes a different type of investment vehicle for people.
I think at the tipping point where we should be attracting hedge funds and large family offices, in addition to the strong retail base that we've had all along, and the strategic shareholders. It's interesting, we've always had some fantastic strategic shareholders. Right now, SSR owns a large block of our stock. Very pleased to have added Franco-Nevada in there. Newmont Mining Corporation has been with us for years.
Talk about the news release. What was the news today out of the copper?
So, you know, you oftentimes hear people in the royalty business talk about discovery optionality as one of the driving forces of the value behind royalties. This is a great example of discovery optionality. We sold a package of claims in the Hardshell district, which is part of the Hermosa project, also known as the Taylor deposit. That was advanced by Arizona Mining and sold to South 32. We sold those those claims many years ago and kept a 2% royalty. South 32 has been advancing that, and the extension of the Taylor high-grade lead zinc silver mineralization comes across the border of our royalty ground and becomes a copper deposit with strong copper, zinc, and silver numbers. We're really excited about it. Made a press release today, and there's some salient numbers in there.
Talk about EMX being metal agnostic as far as royalty and streaming go.
So most of my career, people have been focused on gold. We've always been of the opinion that diversification is a good thing, particularly when that diversification comes to you easily within the same geologic terrain of which you're working. So copper and gold is an easy way to diversify. We think those are two great metals to be exposed to. But as years ago, we recognized that the demand for nickel would be strong, and it would be smart for us to get exposed to sulfide nickel systems. We've done that organically through the acquisition of licenses in Fennoscandia in Canada, and also through a strategic investment in Premium Nickel Resources, which is going public with North American Nickel here next month. And we're excited to have a 6.1% ownership of that company. We believe it'll be one of the largest nickel sulfide systems in the world. So that comes back to your original question about diversification. We love precious metals. we think base metals have a strong future, and battery metals are a fantastic place to be.
The metal mix with EMX, though, mostly gold right now, and then I believe after that copper. Is that correct?
So a lot of our near-term income is coming from gold, but we do have strong copper income coming off of Caserones in Chile, and of course that has a 28-year mine life, and the Timok project likewise has a mine life measured in multiple decades. So these are strong copper revenues that will continue for a long time in the future.
And your geographic mix?
So we've always been geographically diversified. We're in a dozen different countries, and we've always believed that we should cast a broad net.
Mm-hmm. David, you're the founder of EMX, but you've been kicking tires on projects for a very long time. Maybe you could talk a little bit about your history, how you came up to EMX.
I've really only had 2 jobs my whole life. I worked at the pointy end of the stick doing exploration work for Newmont Mining Corporation for 18 and a half years. It was a fantastic place to learn about the business. I have a lot of respect for those guys. And left Newmont to found EMX. Very pleased to have Newmont as a shareholder in EMX for many years now, and pursue my passion, which is building a royalty portfolio through royalty generation.
Talking about the passion, what excites you the most right now? What is out there on, how would you say, the fringes or on the edges right now that looks exciting for EMX?
So, Michael, we made a press release about a cobalt discovery that we made in Australia that did not get much playtime. People weren't paying attention. I think it's potentially disruptive. It's a very interesting cobalt deposit. We have yet to drill it, but we have delineated it along multiple kilometers of strike length with outcropping plus 1% cobalt numbers, plus 10% manganese numbers. And it could be, those are 2 good commodities right now. And we think it could be a very interesting asset moving forward.
Just to frame that for us well too, it's just the percentage of cobalt that you have within this find right now, which is so exciting, David, correct?
That's correct. 1% cobalt is worth about $1,000 a ton in gross metal value. That's what we call $1,000 rock. And it's sticking out of the ground, and it's not in the Congo, it's in Queensland.
What are the catalysts over the next 12 months, David?
So the cash flow from the operations that we just mentioned, that'll be significant. People have been waiting to see those cash flows start. They're literally days away in some cases. And I think that's probably the most important catalyst. And then just the further execution of our business across the world, doing what we do.
David, thanks for speaking with Kitco.
Always my pleasure, Michael. Thank you.
We're at the Mining Investment Event of the North here in Quebec City. My name is Michael McRae, and you're watching Kitco Mining.
Kitco Mining special coverage of the Mining Investment Event of the North is brought to you by EMX Royalty Corp.